we need to sort of memorise that. Shall we enter though? Because that's the only thing left we can do now. Let's enter. Oh yes. Luckily it pulled the curtains aside. The rear section of the temple was as dramatic as was the meditation chamber. A large pool occupied the centre of a lush courtyard and was hemmed in on all sides by an alabaster peristyle with, I think that's how you say it, peristyle with climbing vines. I must actually look it up at some point and see what it means. Clustered immediately off the open area were several arches, doorways either blocked by heavily woven curtains or choked with clouds of obscuring incense. Nearby a gong sounded, and immediately a priest hurried out of a doorway, halting as he caught sight of the unexpected supplicants. Talk. Good, let's talk. They were shown to a chamber. Oh, I wouldn't have selected that if I'd have known there was so much more talking to be done. Here there were no flagstones or they were shown to a chamber. Here there were no flagstones or chipped tiles underneath their feet, but instead a thick carpet of grass jewelled with dirt. At the far end of the room a pair of yew trees overarched a throne of woven reed, upon which was seated a striking looking woman, her shoulder-length black hair bound behind her back with a green cord. I am the high priestess of this temple, she said musically. Oh, right. They're not expecting me to sing this. Killian welcomes you to her domain. Come, be seated. Listening with keen interest to the stories told by Locklear, the priestess remained as motionless as a statue. At last she... I can't even... God dear, I'm getting... My mouth won't work. At last she folded her hands, and sighed heavily. That was most entertaining, she said. I particularly liked the part about the drunk, but I would advise you in future to keep an eye on the food you eat. You shouldn't simply gulp down the first thing you find without taking a look at it first. Properly chastened, Locklear shrugged his shoulders and promised he would be more careful in the future. Cheered, he didn't mind when the High Priestess escorted them from the room. Right, here we go. Cure, bless, done. So, we haven't got any diseases, so I'm not going to click cure. Should we bless? Luckily he searched his pack. Which of your items would you like blessed today? A priest asked. Well, let's bless the sword. A priest accepted the item. Carefully he laid the broadsword on a low table covered with a white cloth while he opened a book which he retrieved from a cluttered bookshelf. Flipping through its tattered pages he found a column of numbers and ran his finger down them. I've always wondered why the price of a blessing varied from item to item, Luckily said, watching the priest. Does it have something to do with the gods? 34 sovereigns. I just saw that there. 34 sovereigns. Rather more to do with how the item was made, the priest explained. If there were any special metals used in its construction or spells used to bend the metal, then they become factors in how difficult it will be for us to make a blessing stick. Leaning closer to the page, he stabbed at a figure. Ah, here it is. For your broadsword it will be 34 sovereigns. Accept. Right. I'm just girding myself up to read this huge page of text again. Right. Locklear waited. Far off he could hear the low chanting of the priests in their alcoves, their prayers weaving the fabric of the enchantment. It seemed the better part of the day had passed as he listened to the sonorous whispers rising and falling in the near dark. Suddenly the doors to a great chamber were thrown open, and the priest emerged, the blade laid in his hands, swaddled in a white cloth. Your weapon has been enchanted, the priest said with a bow. Use it as your place upon the great wheel bids you. Oh, look, it's got a little cross now. Let's repair it. Oh, I can't. Oh. So, yeah, he thinks now I want to give it to him again. Locklear presented the broadsword to a priest, running his hand over the metal. The young man frowned and glanced up at Locklear. This has already been favoured by the gods. If you wish, I may remove the enchantment upon it, but you should know the potency of an enchantment varies between temples. It may be that... oh, right, okay, that went on to the next thing. It has to do with the nature of the gods. It varies from temple to temple, the strength of the enchantment. The deities who are counted as more forceful have the strongest enchantments. These would be Limis Gragma, Kahuli, Dala and Tith. After them come the moderate gods, Killian, Silban, Ruthia, Banath and Astalan. Astalon, the rest of the gods and goddesses seem to be more passive when it comes to human affairs, and their blessings tend to be less effective. Whilst I cannot be sure which of the temples have placed the blessing on this weapon, I may still remove its enchantment. Well, your temple placed the blessing, you damn fool. Do you wish for me to do so? No. Okay, we're done. Alright, okay, we're done. The priest bid them farewell, and leaving the lushness of the central courtyard, they passed back through the curtains into the deserted meditation chamber. Right, we're done in this temple. Exit. Goodbye, Temple of Killian. Let's save so we don't have to do that again. And so we get to listen to the music. So, now, quickly before I forget, Locklear, sharpen your sword, because it's blessed now. 81%. Right. How do I make them use that? Do I just click it to make sure it's selected? Maybe Gorath is better with the ranged weapons. Ranged weapons. There we go. Gorath, you're going to try that next time, okay? Oh, actually, maybe. Oh, the party's ability. What? All we did was. Let's have a look. Accuracy crossbow, 53%. Right, that's what he needs to be using. Crossbows. He has to be doing ranged attacks rather than just piddling about trying to stab people. Is that where we came from? Where's the map? Where's the map? That's the map. That's the temple. I think we should still go east. We haven't been north because we've been going east. That's west. No, we want to go east. Look, that's east. Yeah. So, probably we haven't been north. Let's try north. There's a road to follow. Yeah. And there's something that. Oh, hello. Save. It might be another one that explodes. It might be trapped. It's a chest. It's got a word lock. Gorath scan. Yeah, okay. Let's have it. It's only through. When it comes in from sea to shore, 20 paces, you'll see no less than no more. Fog. Fog. Easy, that one. Didn't even have to look it up. The chest. Yes, let's see what we've got now. Oh my lord. 100. Ah, I thought that'd be more money than it was, but hurrah. Locklear has got lockpicks, which we needed, so that's actually pretty good, really. Now there was some more stuff off in the distance here and there. Oh, old campfires, I think. Oh, pardon me. Small campfire. Yeah, can we check them? Someone or something obviously says camp here, but it's hard to say just when. Probably the people who put that chest there, I think, unless they've been there for centuries, and the general populace are just so stupid they couldn't figure out that was fog, and they didn't realise that they could have probably done it by trial and error if they'd have just thought about it. We want to be going east, but it's getting dark now, so I think we'll just rest overnight. East, yeah. Let's camp until the dawn. There. And on we go. And it's getting lighter. And yes, I was going to make a remark about all the polygonal mountains there. Did I just see a road branching off? I'm sure I did, yes. Oh, hello. What's going on? Is that farm? Is that fence? Well, I'm clicking on it, but nothing's happening. It's a fence, isn't it? I'm entering private property. Ah, is it a shop? Be a shop. Oh, Locklear gasped. What? Severed head spun in grey space before him as disembodied arms and legs flailed together with a sound much like the clashing of kitchen scullery. Looking closer, he realised that the body parts were not in fact body parts, but instead very tarnished pieces of armour that had been suspended from the shop's rafters. "You there, be careful, it may all come down in our heads." A gnomish man approached from the rear of the shop, a match held tight between his fingers. Should have knocked. Nearly didn't hear you from upstairs. I can see why you came in though. Your armour is in quite a state. Another blow to your suit and you look like those lot up there. I'll fix you right up. If it's all the same, I prefer to buy an armourer's hammer. I'm sure you would, but I'm not in the business of ruining my livelihood. I'm an armourer and I make my living in repairs. People go fixing their own and I'm out of business, right?